the summer, talk to Eddie George. Now, a couple of other notes in college football. Garrett, you lead the way, sir. Odds for Big 12 teams to make the college football playoff. K-State slightly ahead of both Texas Tech, Utah, and Arizona State. Little drop-off. And then there you see. Not all league teams, of course, listed, but those are the ones who are at the top of, if they make the college football playoff, that right now from Circus Sports, that's who would make it at the top.
I'm surprised Iowa State doesn't get better odds because they have a returning quarterback and they were in the title game.
They were, and they're favored to be back in the title game, but none of them thought they'd win it.
They were my wild card Big 12 pick a few weeks ago.
Man. I mean, it's weird that they. And I get it. It's because of their history. When they have expectations, it kind of dips.
Well, you also just lost a couple receivers to the NFL, and people see that and they go, "Oh, well, you can't replace that."
But I think they can. I know,
but people that don't believe that.
Yeah, exactly. And look, Higgins and Noel were kind of unique in that. I don't think they've ever had two of those guys at the same time. I mean, they've had like Hakeem Butler was a big time guy for them, and Alan Lazard, and they've had them, but they never really had two of them. They had two of them there at the same time, and kind of homegrown. So now it's a little bit different. But look, Rocco Beck's one of the better quarterbacks in my opinion in the entire country, and especially in the fourth quarter, he's really good. He's really good in close games, which is the entire league. So I would give him. I would give them better odds than Utah, and I get why you're picking Utah. I'm big on Utah as well, but I know more about what I think Iowa State could be than I do about Utah. Really,
well, Utah is going to be the one that could potentially turn this thing the opposite direction of the way it turned it all wacky last year.
Yeah, to
where now everybody's like, well, they aren't going to win it, and then they go and win the league this year. I mean, I could see that happening. I know plenty of folks. Especially in blue, feel like Utah's like they're not going to be as good or whatever. That's the hope for sure. But I don't know. I've got faith in Kyle Whittingham to right the ship, and I just think last year was just such a weird year with the whole Rising situation. So I think they're going to be much improved and much more successful, and to the point where I could see them contending. I don't think you can really rule out too many teams. Ultimately, I think there's 2, 3, 4. And depending on who you ask, maybe one or two others that you go like UCS not winning the league. Like I feel very confident in saying that UCS not winning the league.
They just won the Big 12.
So I mean, for example, them, and I'm not going to pick on them, but I just think that's a pretty easy thing for me to say and feel pretty confident about. Now, beyond that, I think the majority of the league does have a shot to be in the mix, and you see, I mean, here's half the league on this graphic alone, so. I think we're in for a really interesting year because nobody truly knows. There's not much separation to allow us to really know too much.
Big Ten. You can pretty much guess who's going to be the 1, 2, or 3.
The one thing, K-State on top, though, I feel like they're not getting enough love. Like for them being on top of a lot of these things, I do.
They're not?
I just maybe I'm just not hearing the right podcast, or I'm not because I think when I listen to people talk about the Big 12, it's Texas Tech. It's Utah's big resurgence. It's Arizona State just running it back. And then there's your Iowa State, your TCU, your Baylor. And I think Kansas State falls in more of that grouping to me as far as the feedback that I hear.
Okay.
So it's just interesting to see them on top.
I just think that everyone's so used to them probably being 1 or 2 that they just say, okay.
They kind of get plugged in there, yeah.
Quarterback of Avery Johnson, and the Kansas State's pretty much like, you can kind of always count on them to be in the mix. Big Ten.